Hi everyone, this is Jan, and what we're going to do today is do a fancy fill, but I'm going to be using the little bunny head that we have in our shapes menu. Okay, and here's the little sample that I did. I hope you can see that okay. Here's the little shape, and I'm going to show you how you can pull that shape in by using IQ Designer and then connecting them all together so it stitches out all in one stitch with no stops, and it acts like a fancy fill for you. Okay, so that's the little mug rug that I did as my sample. It's a little 8x8 hoop. It has Easter fabric, and then you just have a white fabric for your inner fabric, and then we have a couple of fills on here. I'm going to show you my notes here so you can kind of see what order that I did this in so that you'll have this when you first start it. You can see we do our batting tack down first, our inner fabric, which is the white fabric, then we do our shape fill, and then we do our border fabric and our inner fabric tack down. Then we do a border fill, and then I do the pom-poms, the candle wicking, and then we do our backing. Okay, so we have 8 steps that we have to complete. And get you a little notepad. This right here tells you the size I used for the outside of the design was 7.5. This is the inner size, which is a 5.5. And I usually write on there if I need to save it, do I need to trim, whatever I need to do over in here. That just kind of gives me an idea in case I come back to this, maybe in a week or so with my memory, maybe a few days, and I'll forget what order and stuff I did it in. Okay, so there that is. So the first thing that we want to do is go into IQ Designer. So I'm going to go in here. We're going to go right here to Shapes. And our outside shape is rounded corners. So number 02, go OK. And then we want to increase this size. And we want this one to be 7.5, so I can go ahead and use my little keypad up here. If you don't have a keypad, then use your little arrows here. So I'm going to the keypad. I'm going to go 7.5, set, and 7.5, set. Okay, and then go OK. Now we need to assign that a stitch. So go to line properties, and I usually make my first one just a run stitch, and I usually use red. Click OK. Click your bucket and touch the line to turn it red. Now we want to save this because we want this in our pocket. We're going to pull it up a little later. So click memory, machine, go next. I'm going to do this stitch 5 clicks to 100 there. Okay, set. Okay. Now we have it in our menu right here. All right, now let's start over. Let's go add, IQ Designer. Let's go to shapes, go to our square, go OK. All right, now let's size it. Okay, and let's go to 5. I'm going to go to my keypad up here. Let's go 5.0, set, and 5.0, set. All right, click OK. Now let's go to line properties. Straight stitch, green, OK. Do the bucket, click on the line. Now let's save this. Okay, to the machine. Go next. Change our stitch to 5 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 100. Click OK. Alright, set. OK. Now I have it the way I want it. I've got green, red, and then I have green right here. So you can see it's easy to change. Sometimes you can change it and edit the way you want to, and other times you just have to delete it and do it again. Just make sure that this is highlighted. If this up here was highlighted, you're going to be deleting your red box, okay? So that's all you need to check out on that. All right. Our next step, number 3, is for the shape fill. So let's go add IQ. Let's go into our shapes. Well, no, let's not go into our shapes yet. I want to pull up my green box. Okay, I'm going to go with this one over here. I don't know why I have 2 in there, but this is my current one. The one to the left's current, so I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to delete it. Okay. That way I don't pick it up. Okay. So now I have my red box, my green box. Okay, let's go into the green box. Okay. All right, now for the green box here, I want it a no-sew, first of all. You're going to treat it just like a fancy fill. So let's go no-sew. Okay, now go into your shapes. And let's pick up, let's go to the flag. Let's pick up the little bunny head here. Go OK. Now we need to size this little bunny. It's too big, so go into size. And I brought him down to about 1.5. So let's see what we have at 1.5. There we go. So 1.5 by 1.10. Okay, I'm just going to center him. Click OK. All right, I'm going to turn him pink, and I want a straight stitch. So straight stitch, turn it a bright pink. OK. Click the bucket. Click your little there. Okay, now what we want to do, you notice that my duplicate key is not highlighted here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go shapes and this magic wand, and I'm just going to click on it. Okay, just to choose it. Now I can duplicate it. Okay, now just take your mouse or your finger and just move this up into that corner. Okay, duplicate another one. Move this one up into this corner. Duplicate another one. Move it down here in this corner. Duplicate another one and move it over here in this corner. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to rotate these. So this one's selected, so let's rotate that one and to go into the corner there. Now this one shows here my ears are on the outside, so I would want to rotate it this way. Oops, back this way. 45-degree angle in that corner. Okay, let's click on this one over here. Oops, no. I want this one. Okay, that one. Let's rotate. I want this one. Let's go this direction. and then go back this direction some. Okay, see how the ears are going towards the point there? Okay, now click this one, and I want this one, the ears to go out that way, so go, I don't need to go 90, maybe 4 clicks that way. Okay, now click on this one, and let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks that way. Now the middle one, I kept the middle one the same. Okay, so deselect it now. All right, and I'm thinking this is going to be a little too close. So I'm going to come in, because I'm going to have some stitches. So I'm going to move that in a little bit, and this one here too. I don't want the ears too close here, because I have the pom-poms. The other one, I think this one will be okay right here, but just in case, I'll move it in just a little bit. All right. Okay. Now, let's go ahead, and that's okay there. Now I want to go up to the pencil. I want to make these so that they're all going to connect. Okay, and I'm going to use my mouse to do that, and my drawing tool. And I'm still on a straight stitch with pink, so I'm going to zoom in about 400% here, and you want to start in the middle over here. Okay, start in the middle and end in the middle. So I'm going to start a little bit past the line. I'm going to hold my, oops, I'm in pan. Hang on. I did that before. Okay, make sure your pencil's selected there. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to start kind of in the center. Going to do a loop, and then I'm going to connect to this little bunny right there. Don't worry that you have little bobbles like that. Don't worry, it's not going to sew out like a bobble, okay? But if it bothers you, just click undo and redo it again. Okay, so it's going to start here, come up, come around. Now let's pan. Now where am I going over here? Okay, over here. Okay, I'm going to connect to this one over here. So on this one, I can connect anywhere I want to. So let's connect here. Oops, see, I did it again. Pan, I want the pencil, so I'm going to connect right here. I'm going to come down and around and connect right there. Okay, it's okay if you go over just a little smidge there. Okay, pan. Now the next one, I'm going to connect this one right here. Now I do need to, now if you want to make this kind of like a continuing design, you can pencil. And let's go over here and do a loop design. Touch on the cheek. Do a loop. And just come right under here. Oops, I didn't catch that. Okay. I'm going to come up to about 800 here. Okay, see how I have an opening there? So just click back on your little pencil there and go here to there. Okay. Now let's go back to 400. Okay. And that little bobble it's not going to do anything. It's not going to show up as a little bobble. Okay, let's pan. Now our next one. Okay, our next one, we can go ahead and go from here, or I started on the cheek here, And I went around this way. Oops. So you can go whichever direction's easier for you. Click on the pencil. And I did, hang on, let me see where I am. Okay, that's the cheek right there. My mouse kind of gets stuck here. Alright, I'm going to start right here. Let's start down here. Okay, I'm going to come up, around. There we go. Click to that. Now pan. Okay, now on this one here, they're all connected other than the middle. Okay, so I connected the middle. I took this one and I connected the middle right there. So let's come up like that. And I also connected this one. I connected this one with the center one. Okay, so let's take this one, touch here. There we go. And I connected that one. Okay, let's look. Okay, so we have everything connected here. Now go here, and go there, go there. And if it wants to go this path, it can go that path. The only thing that I did different in this one here was I came off right here. Only because I was curious to see if you could make this into a continuous design if you had two of them off that direction. Because when I was looking at people who did that, that's what they did. So I was just curious on it, but you don't have to do it on this one here. Everything is connected. It'll work its way back. And it should finish. I think it should finish back over here. Maybe I should go ahead and make that line over here so it doesn't have to backtrack over here. Let's go ahead and make that line. So let's go 400. This pan is just a little bitty line over here. Let's see, where am I as far as... Okay, so over there, go straight across here. Straight across here, it's just a little bit below that. Okay, so now click on the pencil. It's a little bit below that, and I am just going to click here, and I'm going a little bit past my line there. And I did the same thing over here. See, I started, let me blow this up. See, I started a little past my line here. This is my border line. And I ended way over here. I ended way over here, seeing I went past that border line. Now this looks like I might have went a little far. I'm just going to test this out. I don't know. Size 20, that looks okay to me. I'm just going to pick up my... Whoa! That's way too big. I thought it was going to be that size. Even there. Pull that down to about a 5. How funny. That's better. I don't know if that's one big pixel. I just shaved that off a little bit. Let's see if we have any other goofy lines. I'm not seeing any. There's something there. I don't have to... Oh, click the eraser. I don't have to shave off anything really, but I'll just do a little bit. Good practice, right? Okay. Now just seeing if everything is connected, and it looks like everything is connected. Okay, everybody. I think we got it. All right. Everything's enough in. Okay. Phew. Got that done. that's the, I'm not going to say hardest part, but it's the most time-consuming part right there. And you may have to do this 5 or 6 times before you get used to doing your mouths and the curly cues and all of that. If you don't want to do a curly cue, you could just use one of these other tools that just does a straight line. Or you can come out, put a line up here, and come out, put a line up there. You don't have to do the curly cues. I'm just a curly cue kind of person. All right, so we have our shape fill. Okay, and I'm going to save this in case I need it. So let's go ahead and save that. Put it in our machine. Do next. And I'm going to keep it at this stitch length. Set. Okay. Okay, we're good. All right. So we have our 3 right here. Now the first time I did it, I had a shape box around one of these. And when it went to stitch out, it stitched that little shape box. So I had to rip it all out and redo it. So don't do that. That is not what you want to do. All right, so the next thing is the border fabric, inner and outer. Okay, so we want to add. And what I'm going to do is go back into IQ Designer. I'm going to pull up the red one first, the red box. Let's pull up that one. Okay. And then next, let's go into IQ again. Or the box, the pocket. Pull up the green one. Okay. All right, now we have both of them in there. Now this is, I'm going to want to stitch the outer and the inner. And it will stop, but you don't have to change your colors when it stops. Okay. I'm doing 2 different color, or doing these together so that I can put on my outer border fabric. So we will go ahead now. I want to save this with the 2 designs on it because I need to come back in here and use that when I do the fill on the outside. So go to memory, go to the machine. Now go next. And I want these, I do want a longer stitch length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And set. Okay. All right, there's my box right there. So we are on step, we're going to number 5. Okay, we want a border fill. So go add, border meaning this outside border here. IQ, go to our pocket. This is why we saved the 2 different ones. I want this right here. Don't forget, everybody, to mark your numbers down, the last 3 numbers. Okay, and you can see here on my notes. See, I put here's my numbers right here. Pull it back a little bit. You know, 273, 10, 480, 500. Your numbers are going to be different. Okay, let me set this over here. Okay, so now I want this right here. One with the 2 borders. Okay. I want to go into line properties. I want a no sew. Okay. I want the bucket. No sew on both of these lines. Okay. Now go right on over here to fill properties. I want a stipple, but you can choose a fancy fill, whatever you want to. I chose blue. Okay. Go to your bucket and click inside your border there. Okay, now I didn't save this one. I don't need to save it. Go to next. And I didn't change anything in this. I let it stitch the little stitch because I thought it would look really nice in there. So go ahead and set. Okay. Alright, and here is our border stitch. The next thing, number 6, that we're going to do our little pom-poms. So let's go add IQ Designer. We're going to need our green square. Okay, here's our green square right here. Okay. And for that, we want to go up to line properties. I want the pom-poms, and those are in the next menu. These right here. Click OK. And let's do those. Let's do those in purple. Now go to your bucket. Click on the line to turn it purple. Okay, go next. Okay, there's our pom-poms. I did make these bigger. I went to 500, okay? And I didn't change anything else. Just make sure your pom-poms are going inside your border there. Click set. Okay. Alright, there's our pom-poms. Now the next thing I did was candle wicking. So go here, IQ, go to the pocket. Let's pull up that green square again. Right here. Add. Go over here to line properties. Click on candle wicking. And let's go ahead and do a gold. Okay. Go to the bucket. Turn the line gold. We don't need to save it. Click next. Now the size is personal preference. I always use like a 3. Oop. 3. Okay. And I always choose no space. I don't want any spacing. It's not going to run over each other. It'll be just fine. That's what I use all the time here. I don't want any, whenever I have fabric underneath there, I don't want any raw edges showing, so no spacing. Alright, click set, click OK. Alright, now what's neat about this is your candle wicking is big enough to where it just looks like that's just a real small candle wicking there, and I think it looks really cute. Alright, our next thing is our backing. And we're going to be done. Alright, go add IQ. And we want our red line. So let's go to the pocket. We want our red line. Okay. And I am going to change the size of this. Okay. So let's go 7.45. So let's go to the square here. Let's go 7.45. Let's go 7.46 and 7.46, set. Okay, let's change this to a straight stitch, and let's change this to a rust color over here. Okay, that way we can see it. Go to the bucket, change it. We don't need to save this. Go to memory. Oh, cancel. Go to memory and then I click it. Go next. All right, let's go to 5 clicks. Okay. Set. Okay. And I am going to go up to about 200 here. I want to be sure. In fact, I'll go up all the way here so you can see this. I'm going to pan just a minute here. Okay, can you see how the backing line is under? This is the outside line. The top line's the outside, and this is the backing line. You want this backing line to be not even with the outside line, because if you do, you'll get a little line. When you sew it out, you'll be able to see that outside line. So bring it in a little bit. Okay, I should have made that a different color, then you could have seen it a little better on the screen there, but that's why I do that. Okay, let's pan it back out to 100. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's what I have on my notes here is 8 steps. Okay, and let's go here. Let's go here. Okay, let's stitch this out. Put it on a 2. All right, let's watch this. Our first stitch is going to be, you can use it as a placement line. What I usually do is once I hoop my hoop with no show, I lay a piece of batting over the entire hoop, the inside of the hoop area. Okay, and then that way I can stitch my first stitch, which is just a placement line of the outside, and I don't have to have an extra stitch. You know, I don't need a placement stitch if my batting's the same size as the inside of my hoop, because my machine isn't going to sew any bigger than that. So anyway, that's what I do. Have your batting laid down, fusible side up, and go ahead and start with your first stitch, which will be the red. Well, that just goes too fast. Okay, let's stop. Let's start again. I didn't realize how fast that went on one of these other ones. Okay, so your red's going to be, tack your batting down. Then go to your green stitch. Now, can I pause? Yes, I can pause that. Okay, so your red stitch, you're going to tack down your batting. Batting's going to be on your hoop when you do this stitch. Fusible side up. Okay, then trim it. Trim it close to your stitch. Then you're going to sew your green line. But when you sew that green line, you're going to have your white fabric on your hoop, and you're going to sew your inner line with your fabric that has an interfacing on it, like your SF101 or something. Have your white fabric interfaced, lay that down, and you only need it as big, you only need it like an 8x8 piece, but just make sure that it's it's the same size as the red line there. So put your white fabric down, let that stitch your green line here. And I don't stitch in these colors, everybody. I stitch whatever I'm going to do my fancy fill. So I had light yellow in my machine so I don't have to keep changing it. The reason we change colors is so the machine will stop. Okay, so whatever color you're going to have for your fancy fill, that's what I have in the machine, and then I can complete the fancy fill. All right, so that's the second, is the green. Then it's going to do this fancy fill. You can see how it's stitching out. Okay, and then, oh, I see what it's doing. That's why I couldn't say, well, what's it doing? Okay, so once you do your fancy fill, that is done, then you're going to trim. You're going to trim about 1/4 of an inch all around your white fabric here. All around it, trim it 1/4 of an inch. Then, before you go to your next red line, which is number 4, you're going to take it over to your ironing board and you're going to iron on your border fabric. This fabric here, whatever you have on the outside border here, you're going to cover your whole design and everything. You're going to iron it to your fusible. Just iron it on there. Then you're going to stitch down your red line, and you're going to stitch down the green line. There's the green line. Okay. So then once you, stitch down the red line and the green line, then you're going to take your little snippies, and you're going to cut out this inside here so that your fancy fill shows, because it's going to be covered with your border fabric. And then you trim that out. Okay, once you trim that out, then the next stitch will be number 5, and it will be your border fill, and that's what it's doing right now. It's doing the border fill. Now we can speed that up. Then it's going to do your pom-poms. Pom-poms are number 6. Do your pom-poms. And then right after your pom-poms, you're going to do number 7, and you're going to do your candle wicking. Then your last stitch that you're going to do, once you do your candle wicking, you're going to put your backing fabric on, your folded pieces, and those folded pieces were 10 inches long by, I think I did 9 by 10 inches folded. And then you're going to place, of course, your fabric over, your design here, and then you're going to stitch your last stitch. Now, if you're not for sure how to sew these out, I have plenty of videos on there on how to stitch these out, because they're the same format that you do when you stitch them out, okay? But this is the order that it's going to sew out, and I keep it the same every time that I do it. So if you're not for sure on your sew out, go to one of those other videos, and your screen's going to show you what it's going to do. So you don't need a video on how to sew out all the time. Just look at what the machine's going to do, okay? You'll know what it's going to do. But on Gloria's Deals, if you have never sewn one of Gloria's toppers, then you do need to watch, how it's done, because she does the reverse applique and cuts out the center part. And some people will do it different. Have fun with this. Thank you for watching my YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can share. Visit my eBay store. I have lots of goodies for home decor. I have everything that we're doing here: coasters, mug rugs, table toppers. I have cute little paintings up on there. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and until next time, take care and bye for now.